So I'll start the recording as well. So very good morning, everyone. I hope I am loud and clear for you all. Right? So this is Toastmaster Shyam. I'll be your host for today. So I'm a Toastmaster since 2012, and I'm the past president of Voice of Colombo Toastmasters Club. And I work as a project manager as a profession at Ticket Private Limited. Before we get started with the lined up items for the agenda, I have a humble request on some few ground rules. So I humbly request everyone to keep their audios on mute unless necessary so that it doesn't distract the others and we can have a smooth flow of this meeting. And we would like to see you, definitely. If you guys have a video, if you can switch it on, it'll be nice to see people and it can be more interactive as well. And we would like you to identify yourself, rename yourself with your actual name so that we can, we know who is talking and we can address that person individually. And of course, since this is an awareness program, you will have a lot of questions. So keep your questions towards the end. So we have a separate Q&A session catering to all your questions, and we are more than happy to answer your questions. All right, so let's get into the crowds of the meeting and first session, and we have an interesting person who is one of yourself as well. So he is the president of Institute of Town Planners Sri Lanka, a senior lecturer at Moratua University. So let's welcome Dr. Jagat Munasinghe to give the opening address. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Okay, thank you very much, Shah. Now, a very good morning to all of you again. Saturday morning, I know that most of you have a lot of commitments, family matters and home front matters and everything that you got to attend. But with all that, I congratulate Chintaga and his team for this initiative, starting with this Toastmasters with the ITPSL. And thank you very much, Toastmasters, for dedicating your time this morning for the ITPSL, and also join hand with the team ITPSL to kind of go towards fearless speaking. I would say that as that was mentioned in your leaflet. I know very little about Toastmasters, to tell you very frankly, because I'm not a very kind of a socially affiliated person as such. But because of my other commitments, I didn't have much time to engage in this kind of activities. But whatever it is, I have heard of it a little bit. I know that you are doing a lot of good work, and especially in making these professionals kind of fearless people of expressing their ideas and also eloquent in talking, and also kind of making presentations to the public and also to the different types of audiences. And at the same time, from the Town Planners Institute of Town Planners Sri Lanka, we have a mission. We want to make sure that our future town planners will be people, those who have no fear of talking, no fear of expressing their ideas, and no fear of kind of going to places and kind of being kind of outgoing personalities. Unlike many professions, the town planners have to deal with different type of agencies with a lot of different interests, and also political authority, and also general public. So it's a very kind of a different profession compared to the others, because I mean we deal with wider spectrum of the stakeholders. As I said, starting from the kind of head of the state to the kind of maybe to the very poor people on the street. So we got to speak to these people. We got to understand them. We got to understand the kind of people to whom we are talking about, and that is a kind of a challenge. Especially when we deal with the agencies and also deal with the political authorities, and also when we deal with international investors and local investors and contractors and all kind of people, our town planners need some improvements in terms of their communication skills, and also kind of talking ability, presentation skills. That's why we thought we must make use of whatever resources that's available in Sri Lanka for us to improve their communication skills, especially our young town planners. Okay, our ages are already kind of more or less kind of going into the history. So we want to make sure our future town planners, the younger generation, will be more communicative, more eloquent in talking, more kind of that they feel freer. They have no fear in expressing their ideas. And that's why we turn to Toastmasters. So thank you very much for coming forward with us, and also taking this opportunity to share your experiences and share your expertise with us. So without talking much, let's get into the program. I know that our members may have a lot of things to know, and I'm sure you also have a lot of Toastmasters. You have a lot of things to share with us. So let's kind of start the program. So thank you very much again for everyone, and also I must thank again Chintaka and the other members of the CURB, that is Center for Urban and Regional Planning of the Institute of Town Planners, Sri Lanka. So thank you very much. Let's start.
All right, thanks, Dr. Jagat, for that wonderful introduction. We got to know about the Institute of Town Planners, what you guys do, indeed. And I am pretty sure you guys are doing a great job making our country much better. So we have another interesting session coming up next. And we have another vibrant Toastmaster who has been a Toastmaster since 2004. He is a general manager, government business at Sri Lankan Telecom. And he's a corporate member of Institute of Engineers, Sri Lanka. A distinguished Toastmaster, Zamin M. Salim. Over to you, sir.
Good morning, and thank you, Shiham. And just like Dr. Jagat said, fearlessness is what is required in this modern world. As country planners, all of you will have to be fearless now. How can we be fearless in this modern world is the question. I would say millions of people all around the world wouldn't have been wrong when they chose Toastmasters International as their platform to learn and hone their public speaking skills and leadership skills. Currently, all over around 145 countries around the world, we have about 365,000 members who are currently practicing and following the fearlessness in communication and in leadership, learning leadership skills. About 16,000, more than 16,200 clubs all around the world, and speaking different languages. For most of them, English is not their first language, and so they have found it beneficial to learn the public speaking skills and leadership skills through this wonderful program called Toastmasters education program. It has been around for more than 95 years, and I joined about 16 years ago. And I find it very beneficial each and every day when I attend a meeting or any Toastmaster session. It gives me an opportunity to speak to people and help me grow while I help other people also grow. So that is again another benefit I see in Toastmasters, where we get to practice our skills. Fearlessness is something that you cannot achieve overnight. You cannot attend a lecture and become fearless at once. It is a skill that you have to learn and practice, keep on practicing. So how you get it? Through gaining confidence. How you can gain confidence is definitely by practicing at a Toastmasters club meeting. Now, Toastmasters program, Toastmasters International, if I say, it has been ranked as one of the top volunteer organizations all around the world. In ranking, Toastmasters International is the third top volunteer organization in the world. Why it is so? Because many Toastmasters around the world, they do not hesitate to volunteer themselves, because they know by volunteering and getting involved in the program, we can serve the world through by discovering our own voices and our leaderships. So how would it benefit the Institute of Town Planners? Now, as Dr. Jagat quite correctly said, you get to involve with various government agencies, you get to involve with various people in your day-to-day work. So when you do so, you got to communicate with them in a very confident manner, and of course, as town and country planners, you got to take the advantage in their communication and sell your idea and become better in doing that. So you can do it through Toastmasters, because through Toastmasters over the years have researched, and it is giving us a wonderful education program. Now, this program is also called the Pathways Education Program in Toastmasters, Pathways Learning Experience, in other words. It's basically not an online program, but you have lot of Toastmasters International provides you lot of resources online for you to learn at your own pace and practice those skills in your club. Now, what are they? Improving your public speaking skills is one key area. Then in building your leadership skills is another area. Maximizing your potential, enjoy unlimited personal growth, and networking. All these possibilities are given through this wonderful program called the Pathways Learning Experience. Now, the Pathways Learning Experience, the education program, in other words, if I say, it provides you over 300 life skills that you need in a day-to-day basis to maximize your life potential. Now, what are they? For example, if I say you have let's preparing for an interview. When you go to meet a client, when you speak with a client or some other party, a stakeholder also, then how you prepare for that face-to-face conversation or an online conversation. So this education program covers all aspects, not only in person and also online. It has a training for you, how you would conduct an online presentation and how you would conduct an online meeting, and how can you be professional in doing it. Because if in everything we do as professionals now, you as country planners, the town planners, the professionalism has to be there in everything that you do. The way you talk and the way you attend a meeting and all these things, the professionalism has to be there. So Toastmasters International provides you the platform where you can learn those things and practice with your set of friends among yourselves. Now that is where these more than 16,000 clubs all over the world, that is what they are doing. They are providing you a non-threatening learning environment where you can come, you can do what you learn in an environment with the friends without worrying about failing. Because when you are with your friends, what you do is you help each other. If I fail in doing something in a Toastmasters meeting, the other friends are there to provide me helpful evaluations and help me to do it better, and how I can succeed in my endeavors. So that is the beauty of this. So that is why millions of people from the inception 95 years ago until now have found in this Toastmasters. The magic in Toastmasters is that we work with our own small communities called clubs, where we all work with friends and we help each other, and then we move ourselves out of the club so that we can help a larger community of members all around the world. And this is one of our endeavors. Now we as Toastmasters, we are coming to you today because we want to help you as professionals in this world. So town planners, I think Dr. Jagat quite rightly said, this becomes a very essential component in your growth. Now, how does this program work? Now, uh, it is now in a educationalist point of view, this program works on a conceptual learning system. So what is conceptual learning? We all have been to our kindergartens, right? How do we learn in the kindergarten? We don't attend lectures, and we don't take down notes, and we don't study hard to understand the concept, but we get ourselves involved in kindergarten. That is what we do. We take pebbles, we put one pebble and two pebbles together, and we call it three pebbles. So we understand it through by conceptualizing the theory. So that is exactly what Toastmasters offers you through this pathways learning experience to you, to understand these concepts through by doing it. So let's say my first speech in a club would be, I come and speak about myself. Now, who else knows about myself better than me? It's only me. So I come and speak to my club about myself, which we call an icebreaker, which you will see in a short while in our demonstration. So we get feedback from our one of the fellow members, so that I know, right, this is what I should do to make it more effective next time if I am doing a speech like that. So you understand the concepts by doing it, getting involved. So we in Toastmasters, what we do is we get ourselves involved and we evolve through it. So uh, leadership development, there are various projects that you can do on this pathways learning experience. Actually, the pathways learning experience provides you 10 different or rather 11 different paths for you to choose and for you to master in that. For example, if you want to become a master in presentation, you can choose that presentation mastery path. And if you want to be a leader, a great leader, you can choose the dynamic leadership path. So there are 11 different paths now. If you want to be a humorous speaker, you can choose that humorous speaking path. So it's a very flexible education program where contents are available online, and you gradually increase your level of competencies while acquiring these 300 plus life competencies for your day-to-day life. Maybe your personal life, maybe your social life, maybe your professional life. So it gives a 360-degree development to you by actively participating in this program. Just becoming a member will not help an individual. You got to become a member first and foremost, and then you get yourself involved in the program. When you involve in this program, you can evolve as a great personality and a great town planner. And I hope that you all would take this concept into your heart and understand that Toastmasters is a very cost-effective way of learning more than 300 life skills that is essential for us, and to become better people. And just like Dr. Jagat said, become fearless professionals in this country. Over to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
All right, so let's thank Salim sir for that wonderful introduction about Toastmasters. Indeed, Toastmasters have a lot to offer, and we are offering you a taste of one of our educational meeting, which is going to upcome next in our agenda. So to conduct this meeting, we have a role called a Toastmaster of the Day. He's the person who basically conducts the whole meeting. So this particular individual is the past Vice President Education of Voice of Colombo Toastmasters. She is a business analyst by profession at Live Room. And her passion is to watch Friends, and she is a good friend of mine. So let's welcome Toastmaster Umra, the Toastmaster of the Day today. Over to you, Umra.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shiham. But Host, could you actually enable my video? I would like to be seen. All right. Am I visible? Yeah. Audible as well, right?
Yes,
Yes, you are.
All right. Okay. So, hi everyone. Thank you for that introduction, Shiham, again. And I just want to know, like, are you confused? Because for me, on my first Toastmasters meeting, I was confused because there are a set of people called Toastmasters, and then there are a set of people called Distinguished Toastmasters, and then there's a person called the Toastmaster of the Day, the role that I'm playing. So let me clarify it for you. Now, every person who is a part of the Toastmaster fraternity is called Toastmaster. They have a small prefix at their name, and they're usually known to be, example, Toastmaster Shiham, Toastmaster Umra, Toastmaster Chetana. And then there are a set of people who have gone an extra mile and they have done projects, they have improved their communication skills, they have worked on leadership projects, and they've done an exemplary job. So those people are called distinguished Toastmasters. Distinguished Toastmaster Salim, that you got to know like just now. And then we have distinguished Toastmaster Madam Munawara, and then we have distinguished Toastmaster Nisal, and a lot of distinguished Toastmasters have gone that extra mile. And then there's me, the Toastmaster of the day. Now, my friends, like there could be a president, a secretary, but today's meeting is on mine. It's done according to my way. So if you wish to be a Toastmaster for the day, next meeting, of course you can. Because anybody could be a Toastmaster for the day. All right? Because it changes from one day to the other. It's not a very complex role. What I do is I handle the meeting. Now, basically, what do we do in Toastmasters? Can the guests tell me? What do you think we do in Toastmasters? Anyone? All right, let me explain it to you. So in Toastmasters, we do two things. One is speaking and one is evaluating. This is in Toastmasters meetings. So when it comes to speaking, we have 3 sessions planned for the day. The round robin session, and then the prepared speech session, and then the table topic session. I'm not going to go in detail because there's a master for all of that, and they will be explaining you the role. But to give you a brief idea, those are the 3 sessions that we have in a meeting. And then there's the learning, the evaluations. We do have a set of people who will help us to see what we did really well and how we can actually polish them up, and how we can actually go beyond that role, and how we can have a learning to our life from these particular roles or the speeches that we do. So that's when the evaluators come into play. Now, there's a tag team who will always help us in our meetings to improve ourselves. Say the timing that we have, say the R's and M's and the filler words that we use, grammar. These are the things that we really think of when it comes to our speeches, right? So let me introduce you the tag team for our meeting today. So first off, I would like to introduce this person. And to tell you a little bit about now the Toastmasters life, I told that it's very interesting, right? And distinguished Toastmaster Salim said that we get to meet a lot of people from different domains. Okay, so this person, yes, has met many people, and sometimes the beauty of Toastmasters is like we end up like marrying a Toastmaster because we get to meet a lot of people. Now, this person, this particular timer for the day, has had a crush, and this crush is even called as Prince William. Who knows? You could be a Prince William today. Let us call the timer for today's meeting, who is a model, who is a passionate Toastmaster, who is the Vice President Education of Virtusa Toastmasters Club, and also the Division PR Manager, a very friendly person. You might want to know her. You might want to get to know her after she does her session. She is none other than Toastmaster Chetana Darshanamali. So Chetana, why don't you explain your role a bit more? Chetana? I think you're
Your
on
mic
mute.
is not on. It's mic should be on.
Am I audible now?
Yes, Chetana, we can.
Yes, you are audible, Chaitanya.
Thank you, Toastmasters, for that wonderful introduction. So, as a timer, I will be timing the round robin session, the prepared speech session, the evaluation session, and the table topic session. For the round robin session, round robin master will get 1 minute to speak, and each and every other speaker will get 20 seconds to speak. For the prepared speakers, today we have one icebreaker speech. For the icebreaker speech, the time duration is 4 to 6 minutes. At the 4th minute, I'll show the green card. At the 5th minute, I'll show the yellow card. At the 6th minute, I'll show the red card. For the table topic, the time duration is 1 to 2 minutes. First minute, the green card. 1.5 minutes, yellow card. Second minute, I'll show the red card. For the evaluation speeches, time duration will be 2 to 3 minutes. Second minute, the green card. 2.5 minutes, yellow card. After 3rd minute, I'll show the red card. So we do this timing so the speakers can improve their time management and organization skills. Also, this timing will help to run the meeting and each and every session on time. Not only that, by playing these roles, even I can improve my critical thinking and listening skills. At the end of the meeting, I will provide the timer report. Over to you, Toastmasters.
Thank you, Toastmaster Chetana. Now, to tell you a little bit more about the Toastmasters life, it's very interesting because you get to meet a lot of friends. And what happens when you're a Toastmaster? You drag all other non-Toastmasters to Toastmasters fraternity. That's how it happens because you want your friends to improve. Now, there's this guy who I pulled and dragged and brought to Toastmasters. He would have kind of hated me at first for it. But now that I see him, I feel really proud of the person he has become as a Toastmaster. Recently, he was able to actually prepare a flyer which got a higher recognition, not just in Sri Lanka, but in Region 13 as well. Also, he is a proud product of Candy, as he always says, and he's the creative co-chair for the District 82. Without further ado, let me introduce the R-counter for today, Toastmaster Uvindu Chandrasekhar.
Am I audible too?
Yes, you're audible.
Thanks. Thanks, Umra. I'm Movindu, and I will be the account for the day. The purpose of the account is to note any overused words or filler sounds used by any speaker who speaks during the speeches. So the words could be such as and, well, but, so, and you know, and these filler sounds could be or a. So I will be marking overused words or filler sounds during the prepared speech session and during the table topic session, and presenting you a report at the evaluation session. So this will help you to improve in your your future speeches by tracking down what mistakes have you done in today's speech. So I will see you at the evaluation session with my report. Until then, thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster Umra. Thanks.
Thank you, Toastmaster Uvindu. Up next, we all are kind of concerned when it comes to grammar. For me, I personally think a lot when it comes to grammar because my native language is different. It's Sinhala. So when it comes to grammar, I always rethink. Now, the grammarian for today is a very interesting person who is the president of Virtusa Toastmasters Club, a software engineer by profession. And when I asked about him from his club, everyone said that he has a good sense of humor. But then there was this particular person who said that whenever he laughs, he always says that, like if we say, no, it's not funny, he would say, it's not, I know it's not funny, it's hilarious. I don't know how this comes up, but this is what most of his club members told me. So I would like to call upon this kind of hilarious, but very enthusiastic Toastmaster who will be our grammarian for today, Toastmaster Kasun. Toastmaster Kasun, why not explain your role?
Thank you, Toastmaster Umra. So none of us are native English speakers, but English has become important for a lot of us in the business communication in today's world. So the grammarian role helps all of us to improve our use of the English language. And in today's meeting, as the grammarian, I will be identifying the good uses of English as well as the improvement points in our use of the English language. In addition to that, I will be introducing the word of the day for today. So for today, the word of the day is going to be enhance. So what enhance means is to increase or further improve the quality, value, or extent of something. And one example where you can use this in a sentence is by saying Toastmasters enhances your communication and leadership skills. So during the course of the meeting, do try to use this word as much as possible. And audience, when you hear someone using this word, please do recognize them with a virtual clap through the feature provided by the Zoom application. Thank you, and back to you, Umra.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kasun. All right, so that's our tag team who will be helping us to improve with our timing, with our filler words that we use, and with our grammar, etc., etc. But now there's this particular person who will be in charge, who will be looking at the whole meeting and giving us feedback on the things that we can improve. This distinguished Toastmaster is a very good friend of mine, who's very charming, who's kind, who actually comments to most of my Facebook posts. But yesterday, I got to know that he's a huge fan of all black rugby. And something he would even do a haka at a Toastmasters. I'm actually waiting for that day. So without further ado, let me call upon the general evaluator, the energetic general evaluator, distinguished Toastmaster Chaturanga, to explain his role.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the Day, Umra, for the wonderful my dear audience, Toastmasters, one of the values that we look at is that the feedback or the evaluation that we get for everything and anything that we do, there is somebody who will be giving you a feedback. That's one of the wonderful aspects that I have learned to monitor, to look after anything and everything that happens within this meeting. Now, for you to simply understand the role of the general evaluator, let me word it like this. You would have seen a referee in a football game or a rugby game, or you would have seen an umpire in a cricket team. Or if you like relate it to a school, like there's a principal or a vice principal who is looking after what all the teachers do. Now, let me remind, this is not a school. Toastmasters is not a school exactly, but it's a learning platform. So my duty today is to give an overall feedback by monitoring, by looking after, by looking at whatever that happens within this meeting. So be it how the role players perform their roles, be it how the speakers do their speeches, be it how the audience responds, or audience how they behave within the meeting. It could be on anything. And to provide my report, we have a wonderful team. Now you just got introduced yourself to the timer, our counter, and the grammarian. And not only those, there'll be like evaluators for prepared speeches and evaluators for the table topics, which you will get to know in the time to come. With the support of this entire team, I'll be giving my report at the end of the meeting. Over to you, Toastmaster Umra.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Chaturanga. So yeah, now that's our evaluation team. There are more evaluators, but they will come with time. Now, did you happen to notice that there's one person in this whole bunch who's keeping smiling like throughout? Let me get back to that. But first off, let me take you to the first session. Now, are we clear? Can I get a thumbs up from, not from Toastmasters? I know they will be glad to clap and they will be glad to show thumbs up, but others, our new friends, like, are you clear with the evaluations? I don't see any thumbs up. Come on, guys. Yeah, okay. Nadika. Yes, great. All right. I hope Nadika represents everyone else. All right. So, okay. Now, our first session is round robin session. No, I'm not going to explain about it because there's this person who always has a smile on the face who's going to explain it for you. Why I say this is because in her Facebook, she says that she always keeps smiling because every moment is valuable for her. All right. That's really a nice thought. And then I was told that she's like an enthusiast when it comes to yoga. You could actually see it from her, like once when you get to know her. So what I would suggest is after the meeting, why not just talk to her and get to know all your questions clarified on yoga. So without further ado, let me introduce the round robin master for our session today, Toastmaster Nalina. Toastmaster Nalina, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Umra. It was a wonderful introduction. Thank you for that. And good morning, my dear friends and Toastmasters. So as Umra said, I'm your round robin master for the day, and it's time to have the round robin session. So all the small things comes with big packages. So let me take some time in telling you how the round robin session works. So what is round robin session? Before we do any physical exercises, we definitely have to do some stretching. As Umra correctly said, I'm a yoga instructor. So let me emphasize on that. You don't want to torn your tissues. So round robin session is the warm-up session for Toastmasters, where everybody in the meeting will get to speak for 20 seconds. Why round robin session is? This session will allow you to have the qualities of a leader, which are keen listening, speaking with content, and thinking spontaneously. Ultimately, it breaks the ice and gets everyone to speak. How we are going to do it today? This session is conducted by a round robin master, which is me today, and I will be leading the session by presenting a topic. And today's topic is new beginnings, which is also the topic of today's meeting. Normally in a physical meeting, it could go from the rightmost corner to the leftmost corner or vice versa, according to the seating order. Since this is an online meeting, we will be giving a list presented in a slide. So everyone will get a chance to speak for 20 seconds. Only catch that we have is that you will be starting with the word uttered by the previous speaker. For example, if the previous speaker finishes the speech by saying Toastmasters, the next speaker will start with the word Toastmasters. This will give you all an idea on how the round robin session is conducted. Here is the speaking order and the time presented right in front of you in a slide. So timer, please make a note that I will be speaking for 1 minute, and following me, Toastmaster Shiham, and following him, everyone will be speaking for 20 seconds. So let's the time set for 1 minute now. New beginnings. Aren't we all new beginners? When we were born, that's a new beginning. When we first stepped into our school, that was another new beginning. College, work, Your first job, how many of you all remember your first job? How excited were you? And does it end there? Every single day or every other day, we are stepping into a new beginning, some more the other way. And how does the beginning happen? We all have to have a goal, and also we have to make plans. Without planning, nothing comes to execution. So, my dear friends, in this new beginning, today we are all gathered here in order to introduce the Toastmasters to all of you who are presented right here in this meeting.
Yes, right here in the meeting, of course. So the new beginning, and we should use the word enhance because it's a word of the day as well. And I would like everyone to, applaud for me. And that's the only time where you get the applaud by just saying a word in Toastmasters. Right? And talking about new beginning, 7 years ago, I had a new beginning where I first entered Toastmasters. And it enhanced my career up till now, step by step, since I put that first step on that particular day, it has led me where I am right now today. And you will never regret. And it's always we have a first time in everything, right? So for me, the first time in Toastmasters was 7 years back, and it has been a wonderful journey so far. Over to you, Umra.
All right, so new beginnings. I don't want you all to be caught up with this a lot more because for me, every minute is a new beginning. I think, all right, I'll make it a new beginning. I'll do it. It actually has become a procrastination point in my life. So, what I want you to do is, what I would suggest you to do is think of the new beginning as a new beginning and start it off. Just don't say that it's a new beginning and don't let it be an excuse for the next beginning. Now, new beginnings are always precious, it's memorable. I remember me shivering in a stage talking about the best school memory that I had back then. But I'm truly grateful for that beginning where I stepped into a room at a slit where I became a Toastmaster. So make sure that your new beginning is going to be interesting and your new beginning is going to be worthwhile. It could be even today, the day that you decide to be a Toastmaster. Who knows?
Who knows what you are going to be in the time to come? Now, we Toastmasters have gathered here today to enhance your speaking skills and leadership skills. And the first day that we had the discussion with Chintaka and one of the past presidents of your institute, we got to know that you have a great desire and you have a great requirement to enhance your communication skills that is related to your day-to-day professional life. Chetana, over to you.
So in day-to-day life, when we begin something new, usually we are used to whatever we do. But when we begin something for the first time, we might do not have idea what we're going to do, and we might not have any plan to do it. But whatever you do, you have to do it with passion.
Passion is way to is one thing which leads to new beginning. So for me, each and every day is going to be a new beginning. When it so how you can enhance our new beginnings is by learn from the mistakes which we have done in the past. Through that learning, we can. Over to you, Kasum.
We can start afresh with Toastmasters in our leadership and communication journey. Through Toastmasters, we will be able to enhance the skills that we already have and take ourselves to new levels. And at the same time, we will be able to help our friends to the next levels in their journeys as well.
My journey of Toastmasters began in March of this year, and I'm extremely glad that I set a foot onto a new path which helped me develop myself and to excel my skills when it comes to time management and giving effective speeches and gaining effective feedback. All thanks to Toastmasters and New Beginnings.
I began my new beginning back in 2014 when I joined Toastmasters with all of this up in my head. I didn't regret it. Early this year, I had my second new beginning when I moved back to my motherland from where I used to live before. And I'm looking forward to this great new beginning. Ladies and gentlemen, new beginnings are what enhances our life.
Life is something will give you opportunities. But when it talks about new beginnings, ladies and gentlemen, today is the new beginning of you. Today is the day you are going to start a new life of Toastmasters, which is very wonderful. In my personal view, this is the best thing ever that can happen to your life in any day.
Every single day is a new beginning, as one of the Toastmasters have mentioned. And this helps you keep a new step into a new day and do something great in your life. I did something really great by stepping into Toastmasters, and that helped me enhance my public speaking and my professional and personal skills.
Thank you, my dear Toastmasters, for carrying forward the story and inserting your own story into the lengthy story that we had just now. So, my dear friends, I think with this, we all have an idea on how round robin session works. And if you would have noticed, everyone had to listen to the previous person very carefully, where this person ends the word and what's the theme of the whole story. So the keen listening and spontaneous thinking, they had to start the moment when the previous person finishes. And also they have to speak. Everyone had to speak. With that, I would love to hand over the session back to Madam Toastmaster Umra. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nalina. It was an interesting session, right? So she deserves a big round of applause for that. All right? Okay. So how many of you enjoyed this session? Trust me, on my first meeting, I didn't really enjoy this session much. I was too nervous thinking what I would have to do, like as to how I would have to speak. But being in Toastmasters for quite long, I think this is one of the most interesting sessions that you have. Trust me, after you start a Toastmasters club, you would know, you will feel that these 20 seconds fly because it's that interesting. It gets interesting with the topic and with the round robin master, just like how it happened right now. All right. Okay, that was our first session for the meeting. Now that we are done with it, we'll move on to the second speaking session of our meeting today. Now, this is prepared speech session. Why I always tell you about my first experience is because I kind of have the feeling that for most of y'all, this is going to be your first model meeting where you see the Toastmaster meeting and how it happens. So when I heard the word prepared speech, just like y'all, yes, I understand it's done by a person who has prepared previously. For me, I was thinking, why would anyone do that? How could someone come and do a speech? Now, this is the learning and this is the beauty of Toastmasters. A set of Toastmasters are actually willing to share their ideas, to share their stories, so that we can get informed, we can be motivated, we can be inspired. So whenever there's a low time in our lives, whenever we feel down, it's those stories that actually brings our motivation and actually inspire us to move on with our life. All right. So these, I consider these prepared speakers as like soldiers who are willing to help each other, who are willing to inspire an audience, who are willing to actually motivate an audience. So if there are any friends who are actually willing to inspire your colleagues, next time make sure that you step up and share your story, because it will not just benefit you, but it will benefit a whole lot of other people. Now you will actually realize this when our first speaker starts speaking. But before that, let me tell you, now in Toastmasters, we help everyone. We help each other. And there's this particular Toastmaster who is going to help our prepared speaker to do a lot better and to see what are his strengths and actually to give an idea as to how this person could improve his speech. So let me not actually tell you the evaluation criteria, but let me introduce this interesting Toastmaster. So when I just tried to find about this Toastmaster, what I heard was that he is an inspiring person. A lot of club members from his club, Pinnacle Advanced Toastmasters Club, said that he is a new addition but seems very caring. And also he is well known for making a mask out of a paper bag. That's a skill, right? So next time you meet him, make sure that you ask how he managed to do it. All right. So without further ado, let me call upon this enthusiastic, distinguished Toastmaster, Farhaz Farooq, to give the objectives of our prepared speaker today.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Umrah. I'll take a note that I'll make a paper bag mask for you one of these days. Ladies and gentlemen, evaluation, they say, is the heart of Toastmasters. It helps us in being able to read what other people say and give conclusions or give feedback. At the same time, it helps us share our knowledge with others, and the advantage it has to others is that they are able to gain from experience and knowledge of fellow members. Now, how is evaluation useful? Of course, at a Toastmasters meeting, so that we could improve our speeches. But needless to say, being professionals, we will be able to apply the skills of evaluation that we learn here at work, when we speak to our bosses, when we speak to our subordinates, and hey, with the big boss at home, who I call my wife. That's when evaluation comes really handy. So it's applicable in a whole plethora of situations. Evaluations serve to enhance future speeches, and by extension, it also, the skills that we learn through evaluation serves to enhance our ability to give and accept feedback. All projects in Toastmasters come with a project evaluation form which guides the evaluator and the speaker to prepare. And our speaker today is attempting what's called the icebreaker, which is the very first speech every Toastmaster attempts. And it's a simple speech and a difficult speech at the same time. It's simple because we need to introduce ourselves to our club members, but it's difficult because this is the first time we are trying to make a speech, a proper formal speech in front of a crowd. The objective behind this is to learn the basic structure of a speech and to see if we could tell our story to our members. Timer, please note, it's 4 to 6 minutes, and I look forward to learning more about our next speaker. Over to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Farhaz. Now, Saif is one of my club members who is really enthusiastic. He is a huge coffee fan, and trust me, in the middle of the night, he might send you a recipe as to how to make a proper cappuccino. He's also a gym freak and also a fitness enthusiast. He seems very interesting, and you will definitely get to know him after his first speech. So now I would like to call upon Toastmaster Saif to do his icebreaker. Toastmaster Saif. Saif, I think you're on mute.
Yes, thank you for that wonderful introduction, Toastmaster Umrah. Before I begin my speech, I would just like to confirm whether can everyone hear me?
Yes, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Wonderful. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. The most truest words ever spoken by the greatest who ever lived, Muhammad Ali. Fellow Toastmasters, my dear guests and my dear colleagues, the reason I selected the great one as an opening line for my speech is because of how much he had an impact on my life. Now let me tell you why I chose the great one as an opening line for my speech. Let's wind the clock all the way back to 1997, the day yours truly was born. I was born in the great mystical land of Saudi Arabia, which isn't as quite as fun as it sounds because of how hot it is over there. I was the fourth baby out of all boys. And when I was born in Saudi Arabia, it was quite unimaginable if you think about it. Let me explain why. Since I was the fourth baby, it made my three older brothers a teensy bit jealous because you see, I was known as the pet of the household. My dear guests and my dear Toastmasters, I want you to please understand this. Put your hands up if any of you are considered to be your parents' pets. So exactly, you understand where I'm coming from. Now, my dear Toastmasters, being the pet of the household, we have to uphold a certain responsibility in our life. And well, that's basically to do absolutely nothing at all. Because we are the first to receive best gifts and we are the first to stay out of trouble, even though if it is our fault technically. Let me tell you a little bit about my family. I'm going to start from my brothers and work its way up to my parents. My brothers are a mix of my best friends, my arch nemesis, and the main target of my annoyance. But when it comes to my parents, they are the most loving and the most friendliest people when it comes to meeting new families or hanging out at the park or even attending a function or two. But when it comes behind closed curtains, oh my goodness, it's like World War III in my house. My dear Toastmasters, once again, put your hands up if you ever grew up with strict parents. So most of you can clearly understand where I'm coming from. May God have mercy on my soul for the next story what I'm about to tell you. You can't even compare the Sri Lankan parliament in my house. I remember this one instance. When I was in the 4th grade, I walked up to my mother and I told her that I had failed an English test back in the 4th grade. I kid you not. I literally saw her become one of those video game villains where she had to choose her weapon of mass destruction. And I thought my life was going to end right then and there. But my dear Toastmasters, if there was ever a person who I was more afraid of than my mom, has to be none other than my dad. Now you must understand something. My dad was a rugby player back in school, and he was a black belt in karate. So you could imagine, he would karate chop us whenever he tried to discipline us, and if you tried running away from him, may God have mercy on your soul. Now, being the pet of the household who thought he would get anything and everything that he wanted, little did I know my life was about to completely change forever. Let's fast forward to 2014, when yours truly touched down in the great nation of Sri Lanka. Now, being born and bred in a country where you haven't been taught to speak the local language surely did make me feel like a foreigner in my own country. Because you see, I only scored 5 marks out of 100 on my Sinhala paper. And that's for getting my name and the date correct. At least my teacher had some sort of a mercy, am I right? But the dark cloud was just setting in, because you see, my parents fell very badly ill at that time. And I can remember this one moment where my mother, the most beautiful and the most friendliest woman you could have ever met, sat me down and told me this: darling, I know you're working hard, but don't you ever sacrifice your studies for me. But come mid-July 2016, the solution to all my problems, the queen in my life, got the final call from heaven. Now that was a turning point in my life, because I had a choice to make. I chose, instead of being engulfed by this depression that had set in my head, I could rise up and be something more. My dear Toastmasters, what I learned is life is a bed of roses that is filled with the most painful of thorns. But even though this baby butterfly kept aimlessly floating around, I made sure that I became the stinging bee that you see before your very eyes. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Saif. And I'm pretty sure that everyone in the audience is agreeing with me that he is a great speaker. Let us all give a big round of applause to our Toastmaster Saif for that inspiring, emotional, beautiful speech. I am pretty sure that there's something for you to take home from this speech. And that is what I was saying about before the speech. All right. Up next, we have our third session. Now that the second session is over, let us move on to the third session. Our third session is a session where all of you can volunteer to actually speak to a set of topics given by the table topics master. Again, let me not tell you about this session because the table topic master will be letting you know as to what this session is all about. So I would like to call upon our table topics master for today, who is a badminton fan, a cricket fan. But above all, when I spoke to one of his friends, they said that he even won a marathon in the DFCC sports meet and said it was above 40, which I had no clue about. All right, let us get to know him and let us get to know about this particular session from him itself. Distinguished Toastmaster Rasika, over to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Umra. I know now who gave you this introduction and where it is coming from. I will catch this gentleman later, of course. Now, my fellow Toastmasters and newcomers with new beginnings today, let me give a small introduction about table topic session. As the Toastmaster Umra very correctly mentioned, this is very interesting session. I'll tell you why it is interesting. Now, this session itself is called table topic session, or some may call it impromptu speaking session. Now, impromptu itself is impromptu. You have to speak within a couple of minutes, seconds, when you get the topic to your hand. Why it is called table topics then? As the international Toastmaster International says, those days in 1930s, when this opportunity is given, they had topics inside a small box which is kept in the middle of the table. Now, people who want to speak have to come, pick the topic from the table and speak. So this table topic word came into reality. Now, we have to know why this Toastmasters, the table topic session is important. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we know all of us are here to develop the speaking skills as well as enhance our thinking process as a person. Now, when you want to improve your speaking skills, prepared speeches definitely help. But unprepared impromptu speeches, trust me, is helping immensely. Why? Now, especially when it comes to a crowd like you, where you have to work with so many individuals to convince people, to make them realize how important this planning is, how important this town planning and all these concepts are. You have to probably make them understand your point then and there. In that sense, this impromptu speaking come very important for you. Now, even though you are not trying to convince someone, even on a Toastmaster platform, or even in an interview, or even if you want to speak to someone and convince yourself to that person, this skill will help you definitely. This is why the Toastmaster International say impromptu speaking. They include impromptu speaking as a very vital project, the very vital segment of any Toastmaster meeting. So when you start your Toastmaster careers or even speech craft careers, make sure you attend this table topic session eagerly, because that's one way you can improve your skills, speaking skills, very fast. Now, let me introduce the procedure for this session. What I do as a table topic master is to give a topic to a person to speak. Now, how I get a person to speak? I don't want to invite anyone. It's voluntary. You in the crowd, in the audience, you have to volunteer. Now, I explained you why it is important. If you feel it is important, I'm sure you will come in numbers to take part in this session. When I say it's on, now we can get volunteers. You can on your microphone and say that I would like to take part. That's all, because in the screen I can't see all the faces. So I appreciate if you can on your microphone and volunteer, saying your name and the surname. That's the ideal way to get your name for us to let you give the topic. Now, when the volunteer is there, I will give you a topic. Now, let me tell you, these topics are very easy topics. Most of them are in line of your subject, which is town planning and in urban development. You name it, is there. So it's an easy topic. You can speak freely about this topic. We don't have much conditions. Only thing is there's a timing condition. The time given for table topic session for each speaker is 1 to 2 minutes. For you to not get disqualified, you have to speak at least 30 seconds. 1 minute is the best time for you to speak. But if you speak more than 2 minutes and 30 seconds, that is, you can speak 2 minutes and 30 seconds maximum, then you will be disqualified. But here today, we are not going to make you qualified or disqualified, because volunteering itself is a qualification. So don't worry about timing, but I'll tell you how you see the timer. So now you saw when a Toastmaster speaking, the prepared speaker was speaking, you saw some time cards coming on display. Similarly, at the end of first minute, you will see a green card on screen. That means you are eligible, you are good to go. Now you can stop if you want, but I do not recommend you to stop. At the 1 minute and 30 seconds, you will see the amber card there that says ready to stop. And at the end of the second minute, you will see a red card coming in display. That means you are good to stop, but still you have another 30 seconds to wrap the speech up. I hope I'm clear. 1 minute green, 1.5 amber, 2 minutes green, you're good to go till the red card comes in display. Now I think we are good to have our session. Now, since it's today's first session, we don't ask the first speaker from the audience to speak. We have organized a demonstration speech for table topic as well. Now, this demonstration speaker will come and demonstrate you how to take a table topic. Now, I have picked one Toastmaster from our fraternity, that is Toastmaster Nalina Selvaratna, who volunteered about an hour ago to be my demonstration speaker. So, this is how it is happening. I announce her name first, then the topic, then again the topic and the name. This is the usual practice. When I do that, you, the speaker, can start speaking, but still you can take maximum 5 to 7 seconds to think about this topic and then start. This is the way. But today I have made it much easier. I'm going to give you a slideshow where the topic is given, written with a small picture image. There you can look at the image, get the idea of the topic, and start speaking. All clear? Wonderful. And make sure, if it's possible, to use the word of the day, enhance, as well. Now, let me share the side screen. Right. Now, this is our session. Now, I'll invite Toastmaster Nalina to take the first demonstration speech. Let me have a second. Right. Toastmaster Nalina Selvaratnam. Those who fail to plan, plan to fail. Those who fail to plan, plan to fail. Toastmaster Nalina Selvaratnam.
Let me say a quote from a famous person, Henry Ford. He said, a vision without plan is a hallucination. So in life, we all have visions, and as everyone being in some or the other industry, we all have some vision for our career or how to do our projects. In order to make that vision come to reality, there is a process of steps that we plan. Because no success comes for the person who doesn't have a plan to reach the success. In that plan, in the picture that Rasika showed me, it's a railway track, but it doesn't meet together. They had a vision to build a railway track, and they had a plan where we can approximately see the tracks were parallel to each other, but they did not meet at one point. What's missing there? Communication. If they only would have communicated, because it looks like they have started from two different ends and it's supposed to be meeting in the center. If they only would have had that communication throughout their process, I am sure this would have not happened. So all of us here, we all have a vision. We all have good plans to enhance our career and to reach the goal. But only thing that we need more emphasis on is the communication. That is why we are all gathered here today. Over to you, Table Topics Master, Rasita.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Nalina. That's a wonderful beginning for our session. Now you know, you get very good idea about how the table topic session work, because Toastmaster Nalina gave a very good entrance for us to all understand how does it work. So ladies and gentlemen, now the floor is open to you. Before that, let me announce, all these table topic sessions will be evaluated by another Toastmaster. That is the normal practice of any Toastmasters meeting. This is a wonderful practice of Toastmasters. We give speeches, we get evaluated. We get good point where we should enhance our knowledge on as well. So this is the beauty of Toastmaster, where you get free feedback for you to improve in your life, personal or professional. Now, our evaluator of the day is Toastmaster Shabir Azad. He will be evaluating all the speakers today. Now, with that, let me invite the floor to take up speeches. Slots. Who would like to go first? Very easy topic. Trust me, you will speak nothing. You will speak like nothing. You will speak very wonderful. Trust me. Who would like to go first? Any volunteers? Just on your microphone and say your name. Anybody?
Hello, this is
Yes.
Kabilan Sundaramurthy.
Can you give your name again, please?
Mr. Kabilan Sundaramurthy.
You'd like to take up the first slot? Sorry, Mr. Kabilan?
Yes,
All right.
I will try.
Let me share you the screen again. Now, Kabilan, I think you are familiar with the rules, not rules, what we use currently is what you have to follow. Now, this, as per the rules, you have to speak for 2 minutes maximum, where you will understand how to get this thing right. Now, let me show you the screen. All right. Toastmaster, sorry, Mr. Kabila, your topic.
Yes.
Your topic is the best way to wonderful living is to design it. The best way to wonderful living is to design it, Mr. Kabilan. You can start, Kabilan.
Yes, thank you for this opportunity. First, as a planning professional or student at the moment, I would like to care on the well-being of the people. It means that living of the people of this society. So all the people are trying to be in a wonderful space that could give a peaceful and livable conditions for their betterment of life. So that type of space will enhance their ability to skill with a peaceful mind. So other aspect as well, for an example, are the economic pattern and the living style of the people as well. But in other hand, the design of that space is very much helping to enhance the area to be a livable space. Therefore, I think the planners have to work as an advocate to link the people aspiration as well as the perspective of the developers to make a space is most peaceful and livable through their design. Thank you. This over to your table Toastmaster. Thank you for this chance.
Wow, wow, Kabilan, don't go away. Just let us have some information about yourself. What do you do? How long have you been in the planning of town planners? This Association of Town Planners. Just give us a couple of probably sentences and background about you.
Yeah, I am not entering into the professional planning title still. I am just associate member since 2017. At the same time, I have been working as a lecturer in the University of Jaffna in the field of planning. And wonderfully, the president of this ITPSL, Dr. Jagat Manasinghe, is my wonderful teacher to make my career wonderful. So this time I would like to take this time to thank for him as well. So that just still I am a student. So always I like to be a student, so not as a teacher. Thank you.
Wow, always like to be a student. That is a wonderful way of going in life, because there's something always to learn in life What a way to capture the moment. Thank you very much, Mr. Kabilan Sundaramurthy, for being the first volunteer this particular table topic session. Now, we need another 2 volunteers. We have only 3 table topics today. One is already taken by Mr. Kabilan Sundaramurthy. So there are now 2 more opportunities. Who would be the lucky volunteers? Another person. Now you know what to do and how to do it. Just on your microphone and say your name. Is someone speaking? I can't hear.
Nadika Amarasinghe. Can you hear?
Nadika.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or Nadika, you are not very audible. I don't know whether it's for me or everybody else also.
How about now?
Still it's not very clear. How about others? Can someone help me?
It's still unclear.
Unclear, yes? Yes.
Yeah.
Nadika, if you can probably maybe speak a bit louder or maybe get closer to the microphone, if possible.
Okay. Now can you hear?
Yeah, that's somewhat all right, but try to maintain the same distance throughout the session. Now, Toastmasters Nadika, if you can, sorry, Miss Nadika, if you can give a small background about yourself.
Yeah, I'm Nadika Amarasinghe, and I'm a member of Institute of Town Planner from the 2015. And now currently I am working as Assistant Director of Sustainable Development Council.
Okay, wonderful. Now, I'm going to give you this opportunity to Nadika to move into her topic. Let me share the screen with you. Miss Nadika, unplanned development is the enemy of Mother Nature. Unplanned development is the enemy of Mother Nature, Miss Nadika. You can go on, Nadika.
Yeah, I must thank for the trust to giving that opportunity to join with that platform. And actually, when we are talking about the planning development, we have to think about how we can plan, and also how we have to do with that perspectives. It means that when we are talking about the planning, it really can combination of many aspects. It's economic, environment, social, and economic aspects. So unplanned development can be enemy of the mother nature is a very correct say, because now we are experiencing that with the current practices. Because if we are not planned well, it gives more disadvantages as well as the bad benefit for the our environment, as well as the society, as well as our future. So we have to make the very comprehensive planning for the future with the ensuring the sustainability. Without that, we cannot be improve our utilize our resources to in the sustainable manner. That's why the plan design and the perspectives are important to make better future. And also we have to think about our available resources, where we have to use and how we can use, like that. Most of the our experiences, environment disasters can be occur with that unplanned activities. Therefore, we have to go for a plan and plan resources for the future, and also use the sustainable manner without damaging the future environment as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Nadika, for that wonderful taking up forward the story. Because now most of us in current era of so-called development, we forget sometimes nature is we are. We are not part of nature. Nature is we are. We have to go with the nature. Whatever we do, however developed we want to be, still you need to keep that in mind. Your nature would be you. You forget nature, you forget you. Wonderful way of demonstrating how to do a table topic, Ms. Nadika. I'm sure you will in future definitely add value to our country as sustainably developing this country as town planners. Thank you very much for taking part of this session. Now we move into the third and final session, final speaker of this table topic session. Who would be the lucky final volunteer? Give me the name. Last session, last topic. This opportunity will never come again. Trust me. Any volunteer, please? Is there anyone who would like to take it up and then still think that, okay, I'll let somebody else take it? No, this opportunity is yours. Take it. Shanika, would like to take it up?
Yes, I would like to take it.
Shanika Dilhani. Shanika, would you mind sharing your background also with us? What you do? What's your role in this particular session? Please tell us.
Pardon?
Will you be able to share some background information about yourself?
Yeah, I'm also the member of Institute of Town Planners. Actually, I'm a corporate member. Now I'm currently working at National Physical Planning Department.
All right. Thank you very much, Shanika. Now let me share the screen for you for your speech topic. Okay. Now this topic is taken. Now Shanika's topic. Miss Shanika, you don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step. You don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step. Miss Shanika.
Thank you very much. Actually, I think not only for the planning context, planning field, for whatever the field in the world, this is very important thing. Actually, we at the beginning we don't need to see the whole staircase. Actually, we only need to see the first step and take the first step. It's the way how any journey starts. Whatever the field, especially whether it's planet a town, we have to. We only first of all, it's a big task. Though whatever it is, we have to concern about the small components. What we should design like that. So it's not need to think about the whole picture at once. Actually, everyone must have necessity or a requirement to start that. It's the beginning, I think. Apart from that, if we sometimes it can cause to a negative side if we try to think about the whole picture at the once. Therefore, it needs first of all we must concern about the first step. It's important, and then without take the first step, we can't create the whole picture. Therefore, we have to concern about the first step. at the beginning. I think so. Thank you.
Amazing, amazing, Chanika. Thank you very much for giving us that background for this particular topic. Wow. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you can see you are very good speakers. Even though you think you can't speak or you are reluctant to speak or you are scared of speaking in public. No, no, no. We all can do the same thing like all we do now. Not only is prepared, you were not prepared for this particular session. I just gave you the topic. Only me knew the topics, but you three, those Mr. Kabila, Ms. Nadika, as well as Shanika, spoke for 2 minutes. Trust me, that's not easy, but you did. That means you can continue this in future as well. Now, we wonderfully concluded this particular session called Table Topic. I wish in future you will take this particular topic very well, just like you did today. I know you will do wonders in your public speaking, communication, as well as leading in your professionals. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for taking part and giving me this opportunity as well as your table topic master. With that, let me hand over the control back to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Umra. Over to you.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Rasika. So it was a very interesting session. I love the blend of the topics. And to tell you, I think Kabilan, Nadika, and Shanika deserves yet another round of applause. I'll tell you why. Let us give a big round of applause. Because it takes a lot of courage for someone to actually volunteer and speak. I was in Toastmasters more or less for around like 3 to 4 years. But it took me around 2 years to actually do a table topics. So there you go. You are like super brave, and the top you all spoke for like 2 minutes. That itself is like so great. So yes, just like how table topics master wished, I also wish that your Toastmasters club in future will have a lot of table topics where everyone will be able to benefit, just like how it happened today. All right. So now we have had the 3 speaking sessions. Now, what do you think is the time for? Anyone, what do you think is the time for? If you carefully listen to my introduction, you would know. Now is the learning time.
Evaluation.
Now is the time. Exactly, Kabila. Now it's the time for evaluation, to know what our strengths are, and then to know what we could improve more. So without further ado, let me call upon distinguished Toastmaster Chaturanga not to do a haka, but to give the evaluation. Distinguished Toastmaster Chaturanga, over to you. Okay, distinguished Toastmaster Chaturanga, you are here?
He just left the meeting. I think he'll be rejoining soon, actually, Toastmaster Umra.
All right. So why not? Let us hear a bit from our friends today. What do you think of the session? Until distinguished Toastmaster Chaturanga joins, can we just know what did you feel about the table topics? What did you feel about the prepared speeches? Anyone? Come on, this is the set of people that are like volunteering at the first go. I would like to know, what did you think about the sessions that we had? Do you think it will benefit you, or like anyone?
Actually, it was a very good start and a very good beginning, because we had kind of how it goes and how it flows, and what we have to do and how we can plan for the future, and like that we actually experiencing that all the things in at the very beginning. Thank you all.
Thanks, Nadika. Thanks, Nadika. So just like how our table topic master said, I really see a potential set of speakers, and I'm really excited for your Toastmasters Club, and I can't wait to actually hear from all of you. So I think Toastmaster Chaturanga has some technical issues. So why not I call upon the tag team so that they could give their reports. So to start with, let us call the beauty bundle in our today's meeting, Toastmaster Chetana, to give the timing reports.
Thank you, Toastmaster Umra. For the prepared speeches, Toastmaster Saif, who did the icebreaker speech, took 6 minutes and 22 seconds. For the table topic session, Toastmaster Nalina took 2 minutes and 14 seconds. Mr. Kabilan took 2 minutes and 7 seconds. Ms. Nadika took 2 minutes and 6 seconds. Finally, Ms. Shanika took 2 minutes and 4 seconds. Over to you, Toastmaster Umra.
Thank you, Toastmaster Chetana. Up next, can we have our counter?
Thank you, Umra. So first, let's start off with the prepared speeches. We had Toastmaster Saif doing his icebreaker. So he did a very clean speech where he had only one pause, no filler words or no repetitive words. So kudos to him, a very well practiced speech. And if you are wondering how to improve yourselves with related to accounting in a speech, with related to prepared speeches, you can always practice your speech multiple times before a speech and get your speech reviewed. So that's how you could improve yourselves during a prepared speech. So moving on, we have the table topics. First, we have Toastmaster Nalina. She had only one filler word, which was one and she had two repetitive words, 1, 2, and other repetitive word was vision. Moving on, we had Kabilan, who had 2 saws and 4 R's. Then Nadika, who had 1 saw and quite a few R's. Then we had Shanika, who had 2 saws and quite a few R's. So in order to improve yourselves during a table topic session, what I would recommend is to use effective pauses and use simple sentences since we are doing an impromptu speech. So that's my report for today. Back to you, Toastmaster Umra. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ovindu. Now that we have our general evaluator with us, why not we call him Distinguished Toastmaster Chaturanga?
Yes, thank you very much, Toastmaster Umra. I'm really sorry, technology is always giving us trouble. As English is not our mother tongue, this technology is not, motherly to us still. So we always encounter challenges. But most importantly, my dear friends, we learn through Toastmasters to overcome any challenge and achieve our goals and make ourselves a better version of us. So thank you very much, the timer, Toastmaster Chetana, and the counter for providing your reports today. So in order to proceed my report as general evaluator, I need some more inputs from my fellow members. So we had a wonderful icebreaker speech today, which was evaluated by DTM Faraz. So DTM Faraz, the screen is yours to share your evaluation and give away your feedback.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, dear guests from the Count Planners Institute, and the speaker, Toastmaster Saif. Good morning to everyone. What a lovely icebreaker it was. The speaker introduced himself, his family, the ups and downs in his life. What was beautiful about the speech, though it was an icebreaker, the speaker had a good grasp of the basic structure of a speech. There was a very clear opening. There was a great body with a lot of stories, and he ended it with that punch with a great conclusion. So well done in understanding the structure of a speech. The speaker took us, and me personally, through 23 years of his life in 6 minutes and 22 seconds. Why he didn't do it in 6 minutes and 23 seconds is beyond me. But well done. Now, why this is key is to compress all of that life into 6 minutes and 22 seconds needs skill in speech writing, scripting, crafting, editing, so that the salient features and the highlights of the life are brought out in this very first speech. So very well done, sir. Thank you so much for making me a part of your life. And it resonated well because you are looking at someone just like you who grew up in Saudi Arabia. So I kind of understand the feeling of coming back to Sri Lanka and not knowing the language. So I went through the same ups and downs and I learned the language, and I'm reasonably good in it now. Well done. The speaker is a great storyteller, told us his story. And one good thing that I really saw about the speaker's style was even when he was talking about that really low point in his life where he lost the most valuable person in his life, he controlled his emotions. That is a very strong quality of a good speaker. Yes, emotions are important, but when it gets to places and situations where you are talking about sad events, it's important to control those emotions. So very well done, sir, in that as well. The speaker sprinkled his speech and content with lively humor right throughout, and that kept someone like me who tends to get bored very fast interested. And the speaker also enhanced the quality of his presentation and his speech by including questions at very important points during the speech, and that kept me as an audience involved in the speech all the time. So thank you so much for that. Just since this is a first speech, we really don't need to go very technical, so I would just leave the speaker with two small tips that I observed. I think the speaker was holding the phone with one hand and therefore expressions were only with the other. It would be nice if the phone was kept on a stand so that both the hands are available for expressions since we are in this virtual environment. And secondly, maybe try to do the speech standing. But in conclusion, great speech. I learned a lot about you. I learned a lot about your style, and I can leave you with one advice, Mr. Speaker: float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. Back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, dear DTM, for us, for that wonderful evaluation. I believe not only our icebreaker speaker today, but the entire audience would have been able to learn something out of the feedback that we have given. And pretty much important what you mentioned about the points of improvement, standing and speaking, and using another device to hold on to whatever the paper that he was holding in. Those are simple things, but very valuable whenever we are delivering a speech in the online platform, especially, and when it comes to physical meetings as well. So let me invite the table topic evaluator today. Like we had 4 interesting table topics and 3 from our the very much early audience today. The town planners, the members of Institute of Town Planners took up 3 opportunities. So all the table topics were evaluated by the table topic evaluator for the day. So let me invite Toastmaster Shabir Asad. Toastmaster Shabir, the screen is yours to provide the evaluations.
Thank you so much, DTM Chaturanga, for that introduction, and a very good morning to one and all. I will be the table topic evaluator for you all for today, and we have very interesting 4 interesting speakers today who has embarked on this. But first, to clarify, let me give you what this role is about actually. As a table topics evaluator, the basic thing is to evaluate the table topic speakers and give my honest opinion and positive feedback. And as the previous evaluator has also introduced himself, saying that evaluation is and forever will be the heart of Toastmasters, because as Toastmasters we love feedback and we love evaluation because that's what keeps us growing. And we need this, and it helps us on our everyday day-to-day life, such as when you're in a corporate or when you're working with teams, is an essential skill that will be very helpful for you so you can enhance throughout your life, and not only at office, even at home. So first off, let me give you a demo evaluation of how we evaluated the first speaker, who was a Toastmaster, and she gave a demo table topic speech, which was Toastmaster Nalina, who has given on the topic, who has spoken on the topic, those who fail to plan. Now, Toastmaster Nalina, what I really liked about your speech was how you started off very interestingly with this quote that you mentioned, saying that vision without a plan is hallucination. That really got me thinking, because that was unheard of, to be honest. And I really liked how you start off with that. And then you structured off your content saying you need a vision, and then there is a process. And then this in the center is where you get the planning. And the way you connected those two was really good. I really liked that. And another thing that I really liked about your speech was how you use hand gestures to point out railroads on the topic that was given, also on the image that you resonated with. Other than that, Toastmaster Nalina, what I really suggest you to focus on to improve is when you spoke about communication. Now that is where the clicker came in. The way you connected this speech and this topic to the fact of communication was really good. And what I really could expect from you, where you could really improve on, was to give an example of how this communication could have helped in planning. Other than that, you delivered a wonderful speech. Let's have a round of applause for Toastmaster Nalina. Moving on to our town planner speakers today who delivered a wonderful job on speaking. First off, we have Mr. Kabilan, who has given his speech on the topic, the best way to wonderful living is to design it. And Mr. Kabilan, I must say, I'm really impressed with the way you have given your speech. To be honest, that was really good. And it opened me up to the fact of what a town planner actually does. And you started off with saying that you are a professional student and you love to study and keep yourself as a student forever. And we aspire to be the same thing as well. And I really liked how you connected this topic to this example of Melbourne City and given us that picture of how an enhanced living space will derive this wonderful living experience. And planners are an advocate for that. I really liked how you connected that content. That was really well done. Moving on to our second speaker, we have Mrs. Nadika, who has spoken on the topic, unplanned development is the enemy of Mother Nature. And Mrs. Nadika, you delivered a wonderful speech, to be honest. I really liked how you connected sustainability and nature into your topic of development planning. And that was really well done. You have enlightened me on the factors that you consider when you're planning, such as environment, the social aspects, and also the economical aspects used in planning. And that was really good. Another thing that I really liked about your speech was your vocal variety. It was very clear for all of us to understand you and to clearly relate with you. Kudos to that. And moving on to our fourth speaker from the town planners today, we have Miss Shanika, who has spoken on the topic, you don't have to see the whole staircase, just take that first step. And that was a brilliant topic to speak on with. And Mrs. Shanika, you gave a wonderful speech for us. You opened up our eyes to say the good things and the bad things of taking that first step. Because we do not have to look at the entire step ahead and just take that first step. And you pointed out this one singular fact that I really liked about your speech, where you need to have this urge and this requirement to take on that first step. And that enlightened me. And I really liked how you spoke on that thing. And another thing is you never only spoke about the positive side on this topic, you spoke on the negative side as well, saying that overthinking could just ruin everything. Don't think ahead, don't think too far, just think here and think right now. I really liked how you crafted that message into your speech. And for all this, kudos again to all the town planner speakers here with us. And there's just one important message that I would like for you to point out as improvement, which is to give an personal story of how this topic could have related to you, like how this something that you have done, or maybe a project or something that you could relate to, because that personal story would add a personal touch to your speech and bring out that uniqueness and relate to the audience. Other than that, all three of you did a wonderful speech, and I'm really glad to be evaluating you and giving you these good points and improvement points for you all. Let's have a round of applause for our table topic speakers for today. Back to you, DTM Chaturanga.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Shabir, for that wonderful effort taken to evaluate 4 table topic speakers, and very importantly, 3 of the table topic speakers who were from our beloved audience of Institute of Town Planners, the members of Institute of Town Planners, and the students who are joining today. So, the next most important thing is now that we have listened to the prepared speech evaluation and the table topic evaluation, let's move on to our English teacher's report. And beforehand, I would just like to know, Toastmaster Chetana, have you timed the prepared speech evaluations and the table topic evaluations?
Yes, DTM Chaturanga.
Yeah,
So,
can you please provide those timings also? Then we'll move on to the grammarian's report.
DTM Farhad, who evaluated Toastmaster Saif, took 3 minutes and 15 seconds. And Toastmaster Shabir, who evaluated all the table topics, overall Toastmaster Shabir took 6 minutes and 12 seconds.
Okay, thank you very much, Toastmaster Chetana, for that timing. So let us listen to our English teacher of the day, or who the master who is in charge of the language, who is looking at, you know, the good usage of language and things where we could improve a little bit, and who is having his eye or ears, most importantly, on the usage of the word of the day to enhance, that was to enhance the word of the day. So let me invite Toastmaster Kasun Ilangaratna from Virtues at Toastmasters, the grammarian of the day, grammarian. Toastmaster Kasun, the screen is yours.
Thank you so much, DTM Chaturanga. Let me share my screen also so that it's easier for everyone to follow. So in terms of our use of English today, I think we have done quite well today. So some of the good uses of English that I've noticed, the phrase involve and evolve by DTM Zamin, do it with passion by Toastmaster Chetana, we are like soldiers by Toastmaster Umrah, several from Toastmaster Saif, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, pet of the household, behind closed curtains, a dark cloud was just setting in. From Toastmaster Nalina, the quote, vision without plan is a hallucination. From DTM Rasika, you will speak like nothing. From Kabilan, advocate to create that space. From Shanika, think about the whole picture. From DTM Farhaz, sprinkled his speech. And from Toastmaster Shabir, evaluation and forever will be. In terms of the word of the day, we have also done really well. We've used it a total of 18 times. And I've listed the people who have used it at least once. Some of these people have used it multiple times as well. So the people are Toastmaster Shiham, DTM Chaturanga, Toastmaster Kasun, DTM Parhas, Toastmaster Saif, Toastmaster Alina, DTM Rasika, Kabilan, and Nadika. In terms of the improvement points, I didn't notice much. The few that I noticed are that what we going to do can be better said as what are we going to do. Compare Sri Lankan Parliament in my house is better said as compare Sri Lankan Parliament to my house. Most friendliest woman would be most friendly woman. On your microphone can, and I believe this is common, we should never say on your microphone, it is switch on your microphone. Nature is we are is better said as we are part of nature. And that concludes my grammarian's report, and back to you, DTM Chaturanga.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Kasun, for that comprehensive report on grammarian, highlighting the good usage of the words and where we could have made mistakes, where we could have improved. So it's time for me to provide my report as a general evaluator today. My dear Toastmasters and ladies and gentlemen who have gathered here today, Toastmasters is a platform where we can learn and where we can make mistakes at any given time, any number of times. nobody will laugh at you. And English is not our mother tongue. And apart from the language English, we would have made so much of mistakes, but Toastmasters are there to help you, guide you, and help you enhance your skills and make you a better version of yourself in the time to come. So this is the best platform where we can make our mistakes and we can learn from it, we can rectify ourselves, and we can grow ourselves. So with that, so let me start upon with the general evaluator. I said I'm like the referee or the umpire today. I'll be monitoring, going through and watching and listening to each and everything that happens within the day. So we started off as the first awareness session of Institute of Town Planners of Sri Lanka. We thank you very much for the management, the council, and the members for providing us this opportunity. And I believe we had a good learning session today, starting from the education session or the awareness session conducted by DTM Zamin M. Salim. I believe it would have been an eye-opener for all of you, like especially the members of town planners, how you can use this platform of Toastmasters to connect yourself, improve your communication skills and leadership skills, and connect it to your professional life and personal life. So wonderful job done, DTM Salim, at the very beginning of this session. And of course, the president of the day, Toastmaster Shiham, will handle the initial part of the session very well, I would say, until he handed over the control to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Umra. My dear friends, the Toastmaster of the day is responsible for running this meeting, or like coordinating each and every role player and a speaker and running this entire meeting. I believe Toastmaster of the day did a clear justice and a wonderful job by those lovely introductions, especially the introduction that she used to me. I'm also wondering, like, you know, who would have given those all secrets and all, but we can make a guess. But she has done a lot of groundwork to get to know about the role players and the speakers. And this is what we expect in Toastmasters. All the role players, the timer, the R counter, the grammarian, and even the evaluators, the round robin master and the table topic master did their introduction of the roles in a very clear and a precise manner. Today being the first awareness session, it is very important that all of you get an idea what exactly is meant by these roles and what exactly is the importance of having all these role players to conduct a successful Toastmasters meeting. So ladies and gentlemen, it was a demonstrative meeting that we conducted today just to give you an idea how a Toastmasters meeting is conducted. Especially, I like the way the round robin master handled the session by using a PowerPoint slide and listing out the speaking order so that all of us were very clear, okay, after this particular speaker, it's me who is going to speak. So with that, there was no confusion and we were able to run the round robin session very smoothly. And the usage of the word of the day was also very high during the round robin session. So kudos to that. At the same time, I must appreciate the effort made by the timer, because we know, unlike a physical meeting on Zoom platform, it's always challenging to be the timer and display the cards and at the same time, you know, share your screen and put yourself on the video. So it's a kind of, you know, you need to have some sort of a technological savviness or technological sound knowledge to handle it, especially at online. But in a physical meeting, my dear friends, it's not that complicated. We'll be having the timer cards and we'll be having a bell or something during the round robin session and we'll be handling it. It's much more simpler. But then again, it's a very tedious task, I would say, very important because it's all about time management. The table topic master did a very good job by preparing very interesting slides, and the topics were really related to the profession of town planners. I'm sure kudos to the speakers today, especially Kabilan, Mr. Kabilan, Ms. Nadika, and Ms. Shanika, joining from the audience, taking up the opportunity and taking up the opportunity to speak in front of this audience in an impromptu speech session. Kudos for that, because even as Toastmaster of the Day mentioned, even me being a Toastmaster, I took some time to do a table topic speech in my home club at being a Toastmaster. But all three of you grabbed the opportunity and displayed a wonderful show being table topic speakers today. And kudos to the table topic master for that very interesting session done in a very colorful way. So let me share. Now, the importance of feedback is that we appreciate all the good things that we have done. At the same time, there should be some take-home message for us to improve ourselves. We never give negative feedback, or we never highlight negative things. We always encourage people to do mistakes, and we learn from there and we grow from there, so that it will be a better version of ourselves on the next day. Now, let me share some of the observations that I made that we could have improved a little bit. One thing was that we were waiting for some time because we were supposed to start at 9:30, but I understand that it's the first awareness session. The members would have had difficulties in logging in, and this is a kind of a Zoom meeting that we are doing, and there was a registration process, and with that, some members would have took some time, so we waited for it. That is quite okay. And now we are finishing off, getting close to the end of the session. By 11:42 is the time. We are a little bit behind the schedule. We always have to be mindful on this time, because being a Toastmaster, one aspect that I gathered is that we Sri Lankans are very good at working on time. We know about it. We are so proud of ourselves. But, you know, sometimes back, even I did not care about this timing much. But being a Toastmaster, apart from developing my communication and speaking skills, apart from developing some of the leadership skills, one skill that I have developed is that I feel very guilty if I'm unable to do something on time within the given frame time, or if I'm unable to join a session, join a meeting, or join any other work on the given time. I feel very guilty, because even if I'm late by 1 or 2 minutes, I feel very bad about it. That's the learning that I have made being a Toastmaster in the past few years. At the same time, the Zoom platform, my dear friends, I told you, just like our mother language, may not be very friendly to us all the time. Even I had challenges today, but then again, there are some etiquettes that we follow in a Zoom meeting. We allow one speaker to speak at a time. That happens not only in Zoom meetings, even in Toastmasters meeting, we always allow one person to talk at a time, but everybody may be given the chance to speak. So that is always there. We honor that. And at the same time, when we are not speaking, it's always recommended that we have this nice button called muting and unmuting ourselves, so we can mute ourselves. And when we are not, when it is not essential, when we are attending to something else where the audience need not to know, we can always switch off our video, because we saw at certain instances, maybe without awareness, like some audiences, they shared their screen and they were causing some sort of a distraction, which is something that we need to be little bit mindful and improve ourselves. Let's not make the mistake in the time to come, because we always give the priority for the speaker who does the speak. We had a wonderful icebreaker session today, and the evaluator correctly mentioned that it's always recommended when we are giving a speech, we stand up and do the speaking. That is another learning that we gain in Zoom platform as well, because in our physical meetings, we always stand up and deliver the speech, be it a prepared speech or a table topic speech. But on the first day, the table topic speakers, I would say it's all right to sit down and even deliver the speech, because yourself volunteering itself is an achievement, as very correctly mentioned by the table topic master. But we would have been happy to see you, like some of the speakers were audible to us, but we could not see you. We would have been happy if we could see you as well, at least at the time of speaking. In terms of the grammarian's report, did a wonderful job, the grammarian. I would like to highlight few things, few common mistakes that we do in using our language. These are common mistakes. Even I do mistakes. So let's learn from here and let's improve ourselves in the time to come. One is that I heard at one particular point the word success being mentioned. So we usually say success. We don't say success. The pronunciation has to be success. And also like at one point I heard the word approximately. So the better version would be approximately, not approximately, approximately. These are common mistakes that we do in pronunciation. We'll learn them in the time to come. And as an overall, I would say it was a very good learning session. And I'm sure that all the audience here might be having a lot of questions. So there's a question and answer session open after this meeting. So with that, let me conclude my general evaluators report. Thank you very much, all the team members, the timer, accountant, the grammarian, and the evaluators who supported me provide this report. Screen is yours, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Umra. The control is over to you.
Thank you, DTM Chaturanga. It was a precise report, and to be honest, there were so many things for me also to learn. So thank you very much for that. And just like how distinguished Toastmaster Chaturanga said, Toastmasters, yes, it makes you fluent in your communication and leadership skills, but also it will make you a disciplined person. And I think the one thing, if I'm to tell you one thing that I'm grateful about Toastmasters is the discipline that I learned. Because I used to be a late comer, and now I make sure that I'm early and I'm on time to like meetings or be it office, be it anything. And I think the techniques and the I'd say rules that are good to follow when you do an online meeting is fruitful for us, for both Toastmasters and for our office work as well. Because how many of us really mute ourselves when it comes to online meetings, right? So I think that was really a good learning, because for me, I think discipline is the first step to education. All right. Okay. So I hope you all had a good day. I hope you all had a good meeting. But with a count, like with a raise of hand or with a thumbs up, tell me, like, are you all excited for your next meeting? Not our Toastmasters, of course, but yes. Okay, I see a bit of hands raising and thumbs up. Great. So anyone out there who thinks Toastmasters role is an interesting role, come on. Yeah. So what I would say is, yes, I see Hasini is giving a big thumbs up. So yes, I'm super satisfied, because that's what should happen. And Hasini, make sure that one day when you become the Toastmaster of the day, that you inspire someone else also to take the role. All right. So without further ado, I would hand over the controls to the president. It was nice getting to know all of you. I had a wonderful time with every one of you, with the table topics especially. So controls back to our Toastmaster Shiham to continue the rest of the session.
Right, thank you, Toastmaster Umra. Let's give a big round of applause for all the role players, everyone who conducted the session today. And I was so excited and I was so amazed how it went off today as well. So yes, of course, we do have a lot of questions, right? So like I mentioned in the beginning, you mentioned that whatever the questions you have, keep it piled up. So we have a section where you can ask whatever questions you have, and we have these experienced people to answer them. So we are moving on to the Q&A session and a panel discussion right now. So conduct these sessions, we have two experienced Toastmasters, right? So both of these experienced Toastmasters have been in the Toastmaster fraternity for more than 14 years, right? So you can see the level of experience these both people have. So first, distinguished Toastmaster who is with us as a panelist is Zamin M. Salim. I have already introduced him, and he was the one who conducted our introduction to Toastmasters session. In addition to that, we have another vibrant Toastmaster. She is called the Iron Lady in Toastmasters at the moment, and she is the first ranking officer currently in Sri Lanka. And we are honored, and I think everyone is honored to have you with us, madam, today. So she's a Toastmaster since 2006, and she's an electric engineer by profession. a chartered electric engineer and graduate from Faculty of Engineering, University of Peradeniya, currently working as a chief engineer of CEB Central Province. Distinguished Toastmaster Nurul Munaram. So we are happy to have you with us, madam, today. And we have Salim sir also as a panelist. So now it's time for the ITPSL members to shoot any questions you have to the panelists and us. We are more than happy to answer any questions. So Chintaka, would you like to start off with your question? I think he's the contact person from our side, right?
Yes, Shyam.
A lot of questions. Yes, we can start with you.
Hello, Shyam. I hope everybody hear me. Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you, Chintaka.
Yes, and I would like to brief little bit about this process for our members first. And first of all, I would like to thank Toastmasters International and organizing this wonderful event for our members today. And I especially thanks to DTM Chaturanga and TM Shyam for taking this forward from the first day that we had a discussion, and I think you support a lot to make this event a success. So I would like to mention about our members, about the process forming this Toastmaster Club, and Executive Council of the ITPSL accepted that we should establish this kind of forum club to enhance leadership ability of our members. So upon that decisions, we took this step. Then the next, this is the first awareness program for our all membership. So the next step would be, we will call in expression of interest from our members. And who would like to join with this club, so they can express their interest to join with the club. And we will be sharing an email to them on coming Monday. Then we will give in 2 weeks for them to register with that. So after that, we can have some demo sessions for interested members with the Toastmasters. So with the procedure of that, we can charter the club with the as we heard that there should be minimum 20 members. So for this program, earlier we had 67 participants registered. So today we had about 25. I think there may be some other earlier commitment due to some other difficulties. They couldn't join this program. So however, we have the video recording here. We would like to share the recording with all the members again, and express their interest to join with the club. So that's the process, and I would like to request all the members of the ITPSL, if you have any other questions, you can raise now. We can discuss this. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thanks, Chintaka, for that introduction. And yeah, so let me start off, roll the questions going on, right? So I'll start with Munawara madam. Yes, right. So Munawara madam, like I know you have gone all the way high up to the in Sri Lanka. So can you share some experience on how your first experience? Like we all are here as a first experience for my ITPSL, right? First experience as a Toastmaster and how that led to where you are today. You can share some insight on that, ma'am.
Yes, really, I started my Toastmaster career when I attended the Speech Crafter program, which was conducted by Alumni Association of Engineering Faculty of Peradeniya. Then, of course, I am from Kandy, and we didn't have any clubs outside Colombo in 2006. So after attending the Speech Crafter program, the way that it was conducted, we found that it is very, very important for professionals like us, especially the engineers. We are more on technocrat side rather than the communication side. So then we thought of chartering a new club in Kandy. So that is the first outstation Toastmasters club, and we chartered the Kandy Toastmasters club, and we started our Toastmaster journey from that point onwards. In a very short period, we found ourselves. We are standing in a different place when it comes to our professional and our organizations. So then we really understood the benefit of Toastmasters, and from that point onward, we started to spread the word of Toastmasters around Kandy, and we extended all over Sri Lanka. And I'm sure the experience that what I gained through Toastmasters would not have been. I mean, I'm as a district director today, but if not for Toastmasters, I would not have stand in front of the audience in any numbers as I stand today. Over to share.
Okay, thanks, madam, for that wonderful insight as well. So we have the first question in the chat box. It says, do we need to come to a particular place for Toastmaster meeting in future if you want to join? So what we will do next, I think Chintak already explained, you will be given an expression of interest. So if you are interested, we will basically conduct a physical Toastmaster meeting in your location, and we will announce the details in future. So once we have minimum 20 members, we should have 20 members expressing interest, so that we have minimum count. So we will be conducting a physical meeting, and the details of the meeting will be communicated through Chintaka in future. Right. So yes.
Shikam, there's another part in that question. I can see like the particular member is very interested, but it's a bit hard for her to travel all the way to Colombo every week because she's staying far away. So there are members like that. So to add on that, what I would say is it's always encouraged to have physical meetings, and we value the the feedback from the members. So we could make it either every week or every other week. Like we can have it once in 2 weeks, so that your visiting frequency is not very high, so that we are open for that. And at the same time, it's a bit important for us to have few physical demo meetings, few physical meetings, so that the connectivity between the Toastmasters and the members of Institute of Town Planners is enhanced. At the same time, in between, we can arrange some online meetings as well. Once the club is started, we can decide on how we are going to conduct the meetings. It could be a mix of online meetings and physical meetings. So that is open for discussion based on the members' concerns and based on the number of members who are staying far away. So that is also I would like to add upon on that. Over to you, Shyam.
Sure, Chaturanga. Yes, I hope that clarifies as well. Definitely. So any more questions? I think we are feel free to ask any questions. If there's no stupid question as such, you can feel free to ask any questions from us. We are more than happy to answer. So from the audience, Kavilan, I think you've been very talkative. So do you have any questions? You have shown some interest. So tabletop, I'm trying to.
No. I have a such question because I am from Jaffna. That's why I am thinking, how can I participate in this club? That's my question, but that is already asked.
Yeah. All right. So I think the members are from all over.
I think I can answer the questions when Kablan was talking from Jaffna. Yes, once you join the Toastmasters Club, say you are joining the Toastmasters Club of Town Planners of Sri Lanka, still you can access any club anywhere in the world. So we have 4 clubs in Jaffna as of now. So if you want to attend meetings physically, definitely you can visit clubs in Jaffna, one of the clubs in Jaffna, and you can participate and deliver your speeches. At the same time, I'm sure that with the pandemic situations, almost all the clubs are conducting the online meetings. So when it comes to the town planners, clubs too, once we complete the chartering, we can decide, as Chaturanga discussed, we can have online meeting once in a month and maybe twice in a month a physical meeting. So definitely you will be able to continue your Toastmasters journey without any break.
I hope that could be a good
once we remember,
Once we join a Toastmasters club, we are free to visit any clubs anywhere in the world, and we attend the meeting and make the speeches. Over to you, Shiva.
Yes, thanks, man. To clarify that, I think that gives more clarity. So wherever you are in the world, not even in Sri Lanka, wherever you are in the world, when you're part of our community, you are like family. Right? So it's like joining a family, and everyone will help each other.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Questions? Yes, Kavit. Any more questions from our audience today? So we have Salim sir also. I'll throw a question at Salim sir, so since he's here. So again, these people are like new to Toastmasters, and they're looking at being better confident speakers in their profession and so on. So if you can enlighten us from your experience, how you Toastmasters helped in your career, and you're also a part of an engineering member, right? So how the engineering members can get fruitful from the Toastmasters insight. If you can share some experience on that, it will be good. Hope the question is clear. Or
Yeah, thank you, Shiham. In fact, the benefits I received because of Toastmasters are immense. But first and foremost, now I joined in 2004 February. So within a very short time, I think I was not even 7 months or 10 months in Toastmasters, I received my promotion only because of the communication skills that I acquired during that period, the 6 months period. My communication skills were for my luck or whatever it was noticed, and the company decided, right, I am suitable for a position of a general manager in marketing and sales. Being an engineer, moving to a marketing and sales is quite a challenge, but the communication skills are the skills that helped me from there. So I was in marketing field for nearly 12 years. I have been a general manager in sales and product development and marketing. And then I have now moved back to the HR, and I am heading the training and development in Sri Lanka Telecom. So all these opportunities I got only because of Toastmasters, only because of the confidence I acquired. Now, throughout my Toastmasters career, I have seen many Toastmasters joining the Toastmasters movement or following this 10-week long speechcraft program. And I see an enormous growth in each one of them. So they simply walk in as a very timid and shy person, and within months, depending on their involvement in Toastmasters, within months I see a huge phase shift in them. They have turned out to be excellent communicators and very confident people, and they do very well in their jobs and their careers. So I simply cannot discount the benefits that Toastmasters gives you. Without your knowledge, you just simply participate in a meeting every fortnight or so, and the transformation you get is enormous. Over to you.
thanks, sir. Thanks for that wonderful insight. Yes, personally, even I have improved a lot of confidence in talking in front of an audience. I wouldn't have done the same, like being a computer today. So it would have been possible without Toastmasters as well. So let's open the floor again for more questions. Definitely. Chintaka, do you have any more questions, or do you think any of your members will have more questions as well?
Yeah, now there was a question raised by several about this traveling and distance issue. So, is it possible to conduct this Toastmaster meetings online at the with the physical events? The same physical event, can we conduct online participations also?
Yes, Chintaka, you can have both online and on offline in-person meeting. Of course, now the Toastmasters are getting used to the hybrid meeting, where some participants take part in person, and the members who can't take part in the for the meeting, they take part online. So there is a possibility to have a hybrid meeting. There is a possibility to have the online meeting, and there is a possibility to have in-person meeting. All are possible when you join the Toastmasters.
Right, thank you. That's better.
Yes. Sure. Yeah. So I think most of the questions is around traveling, I assume. Right, for today.
Toastmaster Shiham, may I just add, this is DTM for us, may I just add something to this issue of traveling? Might be useful. I am still a member of clubs in Bahrain where I used to live, and I am now currently in Sri Lanka, but I successfully attend meetings in Bahrain. And in fact, I am the Vice President Education of Bahrain Advanced Toastmasters, and I'm doing all of that work right here in Sri Lanka. So that kind of should answer all these problems of traveling and the issues of things, especially in this modern world. Back to you.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Thanks for that insight, Faraz. See, it's not within Sri Lanka; it's global as well. You see people, going across countries. So why not within Sri Lanka? Yes, thanks for that insight, sir. Yeah. So we can get a few more questions as well from the audience if they're willing to speak up. You can just tell your name and shoot the question. We are more than happy to answer.
Shyam, actually, in the ITPSL Secretariat at the moment, we have three members joining from this office. One question raised that can you please explain about the structure of a club, like president, convener, other members? So who's calling for meetings? Is it possible to explain about that?
I would like Salim sir to answer this question. So Salim sir, you would like to take that up?
The structure of the club or structure of Toastmasters? What do you want to?
The structure of the
know?
club.
Okay, yeah. The structure of club is the club will have 7 club officers. They are the leadership of the club, which collectively as a team they will drive the club to become a distinguished Toastmasters club. So in your journey as a club, you will have certain yardsticks where the Toastmasters International would measure the success of clubs, success of the club, and recognize as a distinguished club or select distinguished club or a president's distinguished club. The basic structure of the club is you have the president, then the vice president education, vice president membership, vice president public relations, secretary, treasurer, and the sergeant at arms. So the president of the Toastmasters Club, being the leader of the club, he is responsible for everything. The conducting of the meetings and how meetings are conducted and how the education program is delivered to the members. So the overall responsibility lies on him. We call him the CEO of the club. Then the vice president of education is the person who would plan the education program, delivering the education program to individual members. So the vice president membership will look into the requirements of their members, assess them, and help them in finding a mentor. Now, Toastmasters program is a program that relies very much on the mentorship. Now, we all became good speakers and good leaders because we had mentors in that journey. There were people who helped us. So in Toastmasters, in a club also, the vice president's job is to find mentors and assist members to get that mentorship and help them develop themselves. So that is the role in a nutshell of a vice president education. Then the vice president membership. My vice president membership recruiter. So the vice president membership's role is to recruit new members. When guests walk into the club, how you convert them from a guest to a member, and how do you help them understand the benefits that Toastmasters offers and make them members. Then the vice president of public relation is the person who would take this word to outside the club. That is now in the case of town planners association, I believe you must be having thousands of members. So how is this message taken out to the world and from the club being promoted in the society, maybe society at large or society, the confined society of your town planners association. So so that is the responsibility of the public relations. Secretary is the chief record keeper of the club. So the secretary keeps the records, and they become the custodian of the club charter and the club constitution and various important documents that each club should be having. Then the treasurer, yes, as the name implies, they collect the dues from the members and they make sure that the dues are remitted to world headquarters in time within the stipulated period, and the club has paid for a healthy number of club members so that the club can sustain and go forward. So that responsibility falls on the treasurer. And then the sergeant at arms is the of course he is the one who enables everything, who makes everything possible, from finding a location for the meeting room arrangements, and see that all the equipments are working in order, like multimedia projectors if required, or the microphone systems or whatever, and make sure that every member and the guest is greeted into the meeting, and they are made welcome at the meeting, and they are comfortable. If you serve food, the food is being served and the food is in great shape and all that. So every gamut of a meeting is comes under the sergeant at arms responsibility. So these 7 roles are the chief roles in the club. So in addition, each of these leaders can have their own subcommittees. That is again consisting of the same members. So the concept is that in Toastmasters, we get everybody involved in the growth of the members. So that's why it is called a club. A club is a community. So so we get everybody involved through subcommittees and various assignments. Now we probably now, just like Shiham is doing today, we can get a Toastmasters to particular Toastmasters to be a Toastmaster to be the compeer of a particular event, maybe a speech contest or a promotional program or whatever. So so that is how the Toastmasters club's hierarchy works. No one is superior to no one. Everybody is considered equal, but for the sake of management and for the proper delivery of the education program, the structure is in place. I hope I answered the question.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yes, it's very clear.
Okay, thanks.
So Chintika, any more questions from yourself?
I think for the moment it's very clear everything. So I hope we can proceed with our as per the process explained earlier, with the call in for expression of interest. So we will see with that process what are the other issues we have to overcome. Yeah.
Sure.
Shiham, there's one more question. Apparently, like it has come just privately to me, but let's give an answer for that question. Yeah. Are there any resources available online which we can use to develop our skills? The member is asking, are there any resources available online which we can use to develop our skills? So I think it's good if we can answer for this question as well.
So Munawara madam, would you like to take that question from your end?
really, we have enough and more resources in online. Toastmasters website is there, www.toastmasters.org. If you visit to www.toastmasters.org, you type anything, you get information, and there are a lot of videos and YouTube speeches, and yes, ample informations are available. If you want to get to know about the District 82, which is the Sri Lankan district of Toastmasters, you can visit www.d82.org and you can get enough and more information. Resources are available in ample. You can go to Google and you can search for it, or else you can go to the Toastmasters website, you can search for it, and you can go to the District 82 website, you can search for it. Yes, enough and more resources are available.
Indeed, yes. That there is a sea full of resources, huge set of resources in all over the place, Toastmasters org and D82 and so on. Can get those information. So thanks, madam. I think we are on time for all the questions we have got right now. So any further, feel free to contact myself, Chintaka. So we will get you the answers as soon as possible. So thanks, DTM Munara madam and DTM Salim sir, for giving more clarity and sharing your experience today, and gave a lot of insight for the members and the audience as well. So
pleasure being with you this morning.
Thanks, and thanks, madam, as well. All right. So I think we should.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Thanks. And should be good to wrap it up. So we don't want to keep anyone holding back longer. So I think it's already past 12, and people are dropping off as well. So before we close, I would like to thank my team, all the role players, and they all did a wonderful job. And I think everyone, the demo meeting, all the role players, give a big round of applause for them and for the wonderful job which they did today. And looking forward to see all the audience members becoming Toastmasters in future. And I myself has been inspired. I'm pretty sure everyone will be inspired as well to become Toastmasters, and looking forward for your new beginning, the first step in Toastmasters. Stated that I'll give control to Chintaka. Do you have any final words before we wind up today?
Yeah, just to thank all of you for organizing this wonderful event for ITPSL members. So we are looking forward to work with this further, and I think we will be able to successfully establish this club at the ITPSL, and I think we have a long journey. This is the first step, and I hope this was a successful event. So thank you very much again. So let's keep in touch. Yeah.
Okay. Superb. So stated that it was a wonderful event. Thanks everyone, and it's wrap for today. Have a safe rest of the day. Thank you guys.
Thank you.